And why are we wearing red? Why don't you tell the folks why we're wearing red?
It's Red Friday. Remember, everyone deployed. So for all the military personnel that's overseas right now, that's what it's for. It was started in 2014, but I feel like over the last few weeks with some of the stuff that's been happening, it's kind of resurfaced the urgency of doing it. And when I found out about it, I made a post, and I just kind of had all my people start to do the same thing. So every Friday now, we're all going to wear red every single Friday.
Nice.
As long as we have to.
And what's interesting is you brought this to my attention. I wasn't even aware of it. I'm an ex-military person. I don't know why it wasn't more. It wasn't put out there more on social media, or is it?
I think that's what it was. I think because with the craziness that's going on in Afghanistan, and the more recent 13 fallen soldiers, certain things are starting to arise, and now that social media is just becoming more exposed, or social media is exposing more things. I came across it and I was like, holy shit, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
And I was surprised I had never heard of it since 9/11 and all that stuff after that. So I'm surprised we didn't hear anything about it. But then, like I said, once I discovered it, I was like, okay. I made a post last week on Saturday. Moving forward, every Friday, I'll be doing it along with my clients, my coaching clients, and people that I'll be meeting with. We're just going to make it a thing.
Yeah, because I know in Seattle it was Blue Friday for the Seahawks. Now it's I know. Now it's gonna be Red Friday, right?
And you're actually wearing the right shirt for it too. American Lives Matter, and because that's what happened. A lot of American lives were left behind.
Still are. So, well, I know our topic today is going to be about when is the right time and why and how you should start your own business, right?
Yeah, that's there's a fine line for that, for whether you are in a relationship or not, what kind of job you're in, if you're in a high-paying job, if you're in a low-paying job. There's so many factors involved in the equation that I think makes it very difficult for some people to figure out, like, how do I make a transition? How do I start? Where do I start? When do I start? And when do I know when to jump?
Well, let's talk about that. Why did you start your own process of owning businesses and being self-employed and maybe an entrepreneur or a business owner?
So I always had the thought process for many, many years since I was young, but I just didn't know much about how to get started. So I was in the fitness industry, and I transitioned out of the fitness industry and went into the financial advising business, and I did financial and insurance. And I did that for about 4 or 5 years, and that's when I first started my actual career of self-employment, business owner, entrepreneurship. And I learned a lot through that. But I was involved with some very unethical, immoral people. And after 3, 4, 5 years, I started thinking about wanting to leave. So I took off, and I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I can't be a part of this. I'm not a fan of people who talk and preach about God, but literally do all the exact opposite. So I left. I went back into fitness, and I took all my skills and I went into a corporate job where I became a health club builder in SoCal, developing sales teams. And I did that for about 6 or 7 years before I moved to Vegas. And obviously, so
making a good 6-figure.
I was making great. I was number one sales guy in the company, number one sales in personal training, number one sales in sales overall. I had the number one sales team, and I had developed other 6-figure earners. And I was very close with the owner, the CEO, and his brother, who was the vice president. But over some time, certain things took place. They brought on some new executive members I didn't get along with. I didn't agree with their ways. And then a lot of craziness just occurred.
Did they change the pay structure?
No, they tried to, but I had already threatened that I'm going to leave if they changed mine. So they kept it, but I kept bumping heads with the new exec team because they were just old schoolers and they hadn't been in the game and in the grind for a long time. And I'm like, listen, your way's not going to fucking work. I'm like, I've been in this for a long time.
Right.
And I'm still in it.
Well, I always run into that. when I was working as an employee. We'd find that great success level where we get to the Aspen level as an employee, which really is an Aspen. We'll call it Mount Rainier.
Sure.
So, but we would be killing it, and then somebody'd come in, and they're making too much money. And for somebody to say that, just the mindset. Listen to what you're saying.
It's fucked up.
You're telling a person they're making too much money when they're making the company millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they're getting pennies on the dollar if you really look at it, right? And you want to change that?
It's greed.
It is.
It's super greed. One of their exec members had told me, Sean, you're too powerful in your position. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And they're like, you have too much control of what you can and can't do. You're able to call too many shots. And I'm like, but I'm not trying to manipulate anything. I'm just trying to call the shots that I know is going to continue to make the company millions of dollars while I make 10 to 20% of that.
And if I had you on my team, I'm like, leave Sean alone. Leave him the fuck alone. Hey, Sean, do you want to have equity?
So here's the thing. It's funny you said that.
I surround yourself with people that are better doing what you do than you are.
It's funny that you said that because the previous exec team did exactly. They're like, leave Sean alone, let him do him and do his team. We'll take care of everybody else. And that was the case. And then as they brought in a new exec team and the old one left, they started to try to revamp and restructure everything. And I'm like, why are you trying to change what's not broken?
It's called, they want to be a change agent, and then also feel like they're doing something, so they have to flex their muscles.
Well, they wanted the ownership to look at them like these guys are impact players. They just changed the face of our business, and that wasn't the case because what they did was actually killing a lot of the business. And they're like, Sean, the reason why it's not working is because you're fighting us and you're not doing what we need you to do. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll reason with you. I'll do your way with my team for the next 30 days. I won't sabotage it. I'll go all out just the way I have been, but I'll do it your way. Let's see what happens. And I did their way for 30 days. They call me in and they're like, why are the numbers so bad? And I'm like, well, it's because I did your way. And they're like, well, no, you sabotaged. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I've worked 7 days a week for the last 4 weeks. I haven't taken a single day off, and I've ran 20 hours a day, like 18 hours a day at the time. And I'm like, I didn't sabotage anything. I've been there in and out every day. Even when I'm working out, I'd still go and just check the numbers and help whoever needed help. And so it just went back and forth to a point where I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I'm like, you guys want to change the ways that we're doing business, which is going to hurt everybody overall. So I'm just going to peace out. And I took off, came to Vegas, and then that's where, the rest is history.
Wow.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the channel. If you like what you saw today, find value in what you saw, please share with your friends and family.
And make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and in the comment sections below, let us know which topics you would like us to cover in the future.